Creators and Level Up Creator School. I'm our Director of Operations, and Amanda Northcutt is our CEO. We are going to be giving you guys an update on our current cohort and also talking about messaging and positioning and selling your transformation as opposed to actually just explaining what you deliver. So if you have any questions at any point in time, please feel free to drop those in the chat and we will get those answered. If you have not met us, there are two ways that we help thought leaders, coaches, consultants like you build rock solid recurring revenue businesses. The first is Level Up Creators, our done for you white glove consulting firm, and this includes our MRR Accelerator program. The second is Level Up Creator School, and this is where we help a global group of thought leaders, coaches, consultants build businesses with a done with you model. Creator School includes access to our consulting team and our consulting methodology in a way that used to be reserved exclusively for our consulting clients. So, hello and welcome. Okay, first, let's give a quick update on where our first MRR Accelerator program cohort is.
Yeah, definitely. So we are in month 4. And so this means we've done all the planning. We've done all the, if we're using the house building analogy, we've done the site building. We've got the houses, the foundation is poured and the frame is up. And now we're working on the back end. Now that we've got all the planning done, it's time to build the business, right? The entire digital ecosystem and infrastructure, website, landing pages, lead magnets, products and services, standard operating procedures, Notion headquarters, email marketing automation, website. I mean, this is full on go, go, go time because now we know what we need to do and we understand we have a gap to bridge here between where we are now and where we need to be by the end of the accelerator. So we're on this parallel track where we are build, 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 build. I mean, my team is like, Erin, we are going whole hog, if you will, on the build stages and getting everything done for these amazing accelerator participants. And the parallel track is now that we got a plan, it's time to make money. It's time to start bringing in MRR, right? So that's a little bit, it's an interesting challenge because we don't have the entire digital ecosystem infrastructure built out. And so we are definitely moving forward through the lens of done is better than perfect, and perfection is the enemy of profitability. And so it's very important that we are using a sales heavy motion on a one-to-one basis as opposed to relying on our marketing funnels. And since we're working with like our clients are much higher ticket, high touch, one-to-one consultants, advisors, coaches, speakers, authors, those kind of people, sales is really important. So we're doing tons of sales coaching and training. We're actually headed into a session here in an hour with our cohort to go over more sales training, and both from a high level. And then also I do individual sales coaching with each and every one of our participants, kind of listen in on their calls and do over the shoulder coaching, if you will, because that situational coaching is really where kind of like the magic happens and the transformation occurs.
Yeah.
Speaking of transformation, I think we're going to talk about that today, but it's like we're building and we're working toward making money and you don't have everything in place. So it's like kind of this uncomfortable growth tension and where sales is really, really important. So that's where we're at right now.
Yeah, cool. Sweet. It is so much fun. And I do feel like we're in the go, 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 like do this, do this, do this, do this, like clean it up, figure it out. And so it's really fun. And it's also like that moment where we get everything set up and then we kind of like suck in our breath and we just kind of watch like it all just fall into place and click together and start going. So it's kind of like the most fun part of the accelerator program. Other than like at the end when you're already making all the money.
Right. Yeah.
But like the second most fun.
Yes.
Okay, so in the MR Accelerator, how do we help participants identify and articulate the real transformation behind their deliverables, their offerings, their services?
hmm Yeah. So, in order to be able to do that effectively, there's a few things you have to know first that precede this. And like this is the planning stage of the accelerator. You have to know who you are. You have to know what your positioning is, and sort of based on all the ingredients, if you will, of your life, your professional experience, your passion, your personal experiences, those all kind of come together to make you and you uniquely. And because you've had unique lived experience like that and professional experience and expertise, you are uniquely positioned to solve painful, pervasive, urgent, expensive problems for someone in a professional environment. So we're looking for that B2B application of you know providing those solutions. So who are you and what can you do for other people? And then who are those other people? That's kind of thing number two, our ICP, or ideal customer profile, or persona. So who are you? Who are your customers? And then what is your methodology? What is your unique way of getting people from this painful, pervasive problem space to solutions, which at Level Up Creators in the MRR method, we talk about value, outcomes, and transformations. And those mean very specific things in terms of psychology, quantitative, and qualitative outcomes. So, your methodology is what kind of bridges the gap and takes someone from this very specific pain point to solution.
Yeah.
And then we're building a product ladder that is like kind of the wrapper on that, right? And that's like, is it delivered through advisory work, one on one, group coaching, retainer work? Like, how are we actually delivering those products and services? And once you have clarity on those things, you're really not doing sales so much as you are matchmaking. And that takes a lot of the pressure off.
Yeah.
So that's a very important thing to remember, is that in business, we are really just matching problems and solutions. And so that's what we are endeavoring to do, and of course are doing with our accelerator clients. And once you have clarity, again, it just totally lowers the barrier to entry for sales. It lowers defense mechanisms that we kind of naturally show up to sales calls with if we're being sold to.
Mm-hmm.
But really, there's a very unique way that we teach sales at Level Up Creators as part of the MRR method. And it is still hard. I'm not going to like act like it is not, but the people who are in this accelerator have put up the money and signals in the universe that they are ready for something bigger, and growing and being more successful and having a multi high six-figure business requires you to step into discomfort. And it's like, I'm asking all of our accelerator participants to jump off a giant bridge with me into a huge gorge, but I have the biggest parachute in the world in our MRR guarantee, in our process, in our team, in our action, in our reputation. We got receipts, right? So knowing that you have to step into discomfort in order to grow, and that is great, and that is okay. We have like this lizard part of our brain whose job is to keep us safe, keep us small, and kind of like insular and in our environment. And so there's some mental hurdles that we have to overcome to bust through that wall and say, no, I'm going to do whatever it takes, and I'm also capable and able to go forward and like follow this plan and do this and receive coaching from Amanda and her team and go kick ass and take names and obliterate my MRR guarantee. But we should probably talk about how you actually find clients. That'd be helpful.
Yeah. My next question was, how does the switch from talking about your transformation from what you kind of do, how does that change the sales process?
Yeah. You're not trying to sell widgets like features and deliverables and coaching sessions, even or on-site training. That's just the delivery mechanism. That's the wrapper that we put on the methodology that goes from problem space, takes your client from problem space to solution space. That is not what is important. It's like people need to understand how you're delivering it, but you don't need to go into detail about that. We all kind of have like heuristics in our brain for what each of those delivery mechanisms mean. So I think what's really important is you understand the value, outcomes, and transformation that you are well positioned to provide. Meaning, in a B2B situation, are you helping someone look good to their boss, earn respect, build community, have relationships? And then are you helping them make more money? Like that's a big, that's a big thing. And it's a personal side. And in the B2B sale, you kind of have this mini sale to the individual who has the authority to allocate the budget for your spend. And then you also have the organization's goals as a whole. So you're selling to this individual and you got to make a personal connection with them, understand what is driving them and what they need to get out of the relationship with you, and also what the organization's goals are. So when you can kind of triangulate what you have, what that individual needs, and what the organization needs, then you've got a really strong case. So you approach sales with confidence and curiosity, knowing that you are best positioned to provide a specific solution set for a specific target audience. And you should not be on the phone or on Zoom with someone who does not fit that ICP. So you've got a good at bat, if you will, if you're on a Zoom call with someone who fits your ICP and your target company profile. So in a B2B motion, again, there's two sides to the ICP: the company type, size, industry vertical, revenue, geographic region. I mean, there's all sorts of things that are going on. Typically, they're in a period of difficult transition. And that's a great entry point to enter a sales cycle for something that will solve the problem that you're having in that transition. And then again, the individual. So understanding what each of those people want by asking skillful questions, gathering what you need, not in order to make a hard sell and be icky and yucky and like use people's words against them, but in actuality it is to learn, is this the right fit? Are we a good fit? Because we're just matchmaking, we're not selling. And so you're going to tell them if it's a good fit or not. And if it's not, you want to send them on their way to ideally someone else that you know who can provide the value outcomes and transformation that they need. But it's a simpler process when you kind of look through that lens. But ultimately, we are looking to source clients from all manner of pockets of the internet, and so we want to look at who's on YouTube, who has podcasts that we can be a guest on. Can we go do webinars or workshops or master classes are really hot right now for someone's community, whether it's a membership or a mastermind or just someone's email list? Can we do a newsletter swap? Like we need to identify individuals to go and target and prospect with, and we need to build relationships with them on LinkedIn. We need to be replying to their newsletter. We need to be downloading their lead magnet. We need to be engaging with them so you can build a little bit of relational equity so that when you reach out via email and via DM, they actually already know who you are, and so it feels a lot warmer. And if you can find a bridge between yourself and that individual person, someone, maybe they're a second degree connection, who on LinkedIn can connect you to that individual. And then all of a sudden this gets a lot warmer. Of course, we have a methodology and way of reaching out to individuals. So you want to find people you can get directly in your pipeline and sell to, ideally, or matchmake with. And then you've got to find partners, right, that will unlock the floodgates to your target audience. So you're looking for tangentially related, non-competing businesses whose audience is your ICP. And when you can identify a list of those and then map how you get from where you are to on their radar and having a one-on-one conversation with them ultimately, which ideally would lead to access to their audience and a mutual equitable value exchange. Those are kind of the two sides of this that matter enormously. And if you can think through this lens and have extraordinary clarity around everything that I'm talking about, which is a lot harder than we can cover here in like 13 minutes, but
Yeah.
that is the high level of like how you do this. I mean, this is how the best players in the world do it. And then eventually you have a business that runs on referrals and expansion revenue, which is really, really cool. You got kind of your content marketing machine. You're a founder of a founder-led brand. It's all kind of part of this beautiful virtuous cycle and ecosystem that is self-perpetuating in the best possible way.
Yeah. Okay. A 60-second answer. If somebody is struggling today with seeing the bigger picture, the transformation of their work, what is the first MRR method exercise or question you would tell them to walk through?
Yep. Value outcomes and transformation. What does the individual buyer at the company need? What KPIs can you move? Like, where can you quantitatively move the needle? And can you make a list? Just make a list and then start kind of figuring out, okay, what's the value that I could actually provide based on my unique ingredients, and make your case and convince yourself so that you're comfortable and confident before you go and start engaging with that person, which should lead up to a warm outreach. And so identify specifically for your targets, your prospects, what can you actually do for them? So make the case in your own mind, on paper, on Notion, whatever you want to put it. And work it out for yourself before you try and go and sell it to someone else.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for joining our live stream. Be sure to follow us for more tips and insights on building your recurring revenue business, and we will see you next time.
Thanks.
Bye.